Hey guys, Bob at Red Hill Tactical coming to you. This is kind of our full walkthrough of what we found. We got two Sig P365 AXG Legions. Literally, I ordered the same exact UPC from my distributor as I ordered for the first one that I ordered. I ordered it from the same distributor. Now, part of this comes from, we got a phone call from one of our sponsored shooters who asked us for a different Sig P365 Legion holster, and I went, well, he's cracked. So then I called Sig, and I went, hey, Sig, what's up? And they're like, oh, they're the same. And I went, okay. And then I started digging, and digging some more, and we found that there are definitely some issues going on here. And as a matter of factly, on the Sig website, as of this morning, which is May 31st, I believe, it still has the old pictures on the website. It doesn't have the pictures of new ones. So I'm going to give you a walkthrough on this, and hopefully you guys can go through. So you look at the guns, and I don't know if you can see anything from here, okay? So to give you an idea, the first thing I did was I took and I measured the height of the two different guns. And I found that the old gun, the old model, has a height of the rail of 1.5365 inches. Fine. I then look at the new gun, and I find that the height from the rail to the top of the slide is 1.4765 inches. That's 0.06 of an inch difference. Now, in some worlds, that may not make a difference, but for us, it did. So that's the first huge difference, and I went, well, I bet you this isn't going to work. So I then pulled out our trusty Sig P365 macro, and I went, hey, I wonder if this works. So it turns out the overall height of this one is the same 1.4765. So I went, hey team, let's make some macro holsters and test them. So we grabbed the macro holster, and we're like, okay, cool. And we made a double layer, and it stops. And I went, well, that's not going to work. Yes, this is the new one, by the way. And I said, uh-oh, that's the problem. Did we mess it up? And I was like, nope, didn't mess it up. Perfect. So back to the drawing board. And so what we are going to do as a shop is, for right now, we are going to be making new Sig P365 AXG Legion holsters off of the gun. So that's the first thing we're going to do, so we can meet some demand that we're getting right now. That's the immediate thing. So on our website, they're labeled pre-2025 and post-2025. So it's going to be important for you, the consumer, to kind of know what you're looking for with these Sig P365s. So let me give you some pointers here. Pull out my trusty Heretic so you can see. So the first difference we notice is, look where that pinhole is that holds your fire control unit on this gun. This is the older one. Notice it's under the back edge of the rail slot. It's within that edge. This is the newer one. Notice it's outside of the back edge of that rail slot. That's the first significant difference I noticed. You may be able to spot the difference in the trigger guard, where the flat of the trigger guard here is actually above the rails, whereas the flat of the trigger guard here is actually below the rail. So that's one of the differences that we first catch your eye. So then I did some more research, and notice ours don't have grips on them for right now for good purpose. So what we actually then found out is the part numbers, this is not a serial number, this is a part number, on the guns are actually different part numbers. So pay attention, this is the new gun. The new gun, the part number ends in the 08. So if you have a new gun, you want to look at the part number in the 08. And the old gun is going to be the part number that ends in the 05. So you can see the 05 versus the 08. So with this, holsters, let's talk about the holster fitment side of it. So first off, if you're ordering an inside the waistband, the Sig macro holsters sort of work. They're not great. There are some differences dimensionally otherwise from the macro we found. If you're ordering a double layer, a competition holster, Titan Tuck, 3-gun, double level 2, the macro does not work. Okay, so like I said, we're going to solve it by actually using the gun until we have molds made. We're going to make a bunch of ready to ship, so we're going to be able to meet demand for the new gun. You as the consumer are going to have to pay some serious attention, because if you don't know which model you have, you're going to be in a sticky situation. We did not realize it was quite this different until we got them in our hands and started looking at them and measuring them and playing with them and putting them in different holsters. So anybody watching this, hopefully we'll have molds made within the couple months. But for right now, like I said, we will make them off the gun, so they will fit the new model. They will be fit perfectly to the new model because we're using the gun. And like I said, we are going to stock up our ready-to-ship selection on the .net site. For those of you who don't know, our .net is a lot of ready-to-ship items. So if you're looking for something right now, you can go to redhilltactical.net. It's full of ready-to-ships. You can do your custom orders on redhilltactical.com or redhilltactical.net. We're still running about 30 days. We still offer our 10-day. We offer next day if you really need something in emergency. We've been getting a lot of those recently, which is really funny. But overall, here's your differences with your 365 AXG Legions. Again, same UPC, same SKU, different gun. Have a good one, guys.